Good morning. Welcome to worship. Welcome to St. Peter's Lutheran Church on this Lord's Day. My name is Ruth Hetland, and I'm the pastor here. And wherever and whenever you are watching this service, please know that I'm so glad that you are here. This week, our book group meets on Thursday night. We are reading The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. Wednesday morning, there is our weekly Bible study on Zoom. The women's group is leading us in collecting items for school kits through Lutheran World Relief. We are in need of specific items for these school kits. I'll list them: 70-sheet notebooks of wide or college-ruled paper. We need 30-centimeter rulers, pencil sharpeners, blunt scissors, unsharpened number 2 pencils, black and blue ballpoint pens, but not the gel ink. We need boxes of 16 or 24 crayons, 2.5-inch erasers, and only new items, please. We will get that list up on the website as well this week. And the collection bin is right inside the front door at church, so please drop off during office hours or arrange a time to drop them off. And thank you to the women's group for this project, and thank you to all of you for donating. And speaking of donating and giving, please remember that it's easy to donate to the Ministry of St. Peter's on our website, www.st-peters.us, or you can send in a check to the church at St. Peter's Lutheran Church, 19747 County Highway 6, Audubon, Minnesota, 56511. Thank you as always for your generosity. On September 13th, we will have a special rally Sunday, including the blessing of the animals during worship at 10 a.m. and some socially distanced games for the kids afterwards. We also will have packets for families to take home with some Christian education lessons and activities to take home as we begin our Sunday school year with distance learning this year. There will also be some online opportunities, but it all kicks off on September 13th at 10 a.m. Please plan to be here, and we can't wait to see you. Many thanks to Amanda Grant, who is sharing the children's message with us today at our online service. God bless you and keep you, friends. And now let's join our hearts in worship.
Hello, friends. Psalm 138 is an ancient song of thanksgiving. Now, the psalmist is in dire straits, some sort of trouble, and even in the midst of that, she says to God, "Thank you. I thank you with my whole heart that you are with me. Your hands still have me." And toward the end of the psalm, we have this image of God as an artist, a potter. The psalmist says, "God, you have me as clay on the wheel. Please don't remove your hands yet. You're not finished, right?" The song of thanksgiving is called Walking Through Trouble. And here's the part that we sing together. Listen. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. Keep holding on. That's it. Together. Here we go. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. Keep holding on. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on. Keep holding on. Got a verse. With all my heart I bow and give you thanks. Thanks for the outrageous love we're in. The day I called, your word surpassed your fame. Thanks for the outrageous love we're in. Sing together. I'm walking through trouble. You're holding on, yeah. in your forever love. Please don't let go. Keep working through your plans, shaping us in your forever love. Sing, I'm walking through trouble, you're holding on. I'm walking through trouble, you're holding on. Keep holding on. I'm walking through trouble, you're holding on. I'm walking through trouble, you're holding on. Keep holding on.
Good morning, everyone. Today's reading comes from Matthew 16, verses 13 through 20. Now, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, Who do people say that the Son of Man is? And they said, Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said to them, But who do you say that I am? Simon Peter answered, You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered him, Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Here ends the reading.
Hello, St. Peter's. For the children's message today, I am going to read I Wish You More by Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Leichenheld. Dedicated for Anne and Paul Krauss, who have encouraged and supported this writer every step of the way, starting with my very first word, more, AKR. And for Scotty Leichenheld, the best mom a guy could hope for, TL. I wish you more ups than downs. I wish you more give than take. I wish you more tippy toes than deep. I wish you more we than me. I wish you more hugs than Uggs. I wish you more woohoo than whoa. I wish you more will than hill. I wish you more can than not. I wish you more snowflakes than tongue. I wish you more pause than fast forward. I wish you more umbrella than rain. I wish you more bubbles than bath. I wish you more treasures than pockets. I wish you more stories than stars. I wish all of this for you because you are everything I could wish for and more. The end. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Todd Mahar.
I was reminded this week of a movie I really loved called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's loosely based on the short story of the same name by James Thurber, and that short story was published in 1939. But in the movie, Ben Stiller plays a daydreamer who escapes his anonymous life by disappearing into a world of fantasies filled with heroism and romance and action. And when his job, along with that of his co-worker, when his job is threatened, he takes action in the real world by embarking on this great journey. It turns into a huge adventure, more extraordinary than he could have ever imagined. It's this beautiful story about taking action rather than just daydreaming, speaking up rather than thinking so long about how you're going to phrase your words that ultimately the moment slips away. Well, as a lifelong daydreamer, this movie struck a chord with me. I've always been one to so carefully think through my words first and to weigh and measure every scenario before I act. And so I can't relate very well to Peter, who is the disciple who's at the center of our gospel for today. He's known for being brash, for speaking up, speaking before thinking. That's how we remember him. It was him who, with the story of Jesus being transfigured on the mountaintop and Moses and Elijah appear with him, and Peter says we should build some dwelling places immediately. Maybe he wanted to freeze that moment forever. And it was Peter who scrambled out of the boat to walk to Jesus on the water. And it was Peter who said that he would never deny Jesus. But he did just that 3 times during Jesus' darkest hour. And in our gospel today, he is the first to speak up when Jesus asks the disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Well, the first question he asks is easier. First he says, "Who do people say that I am?" And the disciples, it's easier for them to answer that. Well, some say you're John the Baptist, and some say that you're Elijah. Some say you're a prophet. It's easier to report what others are saying sometimes. But when it came time to proclaim what the disciples themselves thought, well, it's Peter who says, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responded by telling him he was blessed, that God was at work in his life, and that he, this young Jewish fisherman, was the rock on whom the church would be built. And here we are at St. Peter's Lutheran Church, so many years later. And it's still a good question to ask ourselves, that one that Jesus asked Peter. Who do you say that Jesus is? Who is Jesus to you? I thought long and hard about that question this week. I thought about it on Wednesday when some of us met to talk about the book Native, which views the Christian church with a critical eye for the ways that it has participated in racism and promoting white supremacy over the centuries. We don't have to look far for examples of this. I mean, remember our beloved statue of Jesus in our church sanctuary? We love that statue, and it's been here as long as the church has, but his pale white skin, long light brown hair, you know that's not how someone born where Jesus was born would look, right? And yet artists portrayed him as white to make him more palatable to the white Christians. And we have inherited these things, and it doesn't make us bad, but it does mean we need to pay attention and ask ourselves hard questions about it. That's one of the things that we're trying to do with our series, that Conversations on the Lawn, where we read books on topics that can be hard for us to talk about sometimes, but we know it's important to talk about. Who is Jesus to you? Is he white? Is he beyond race? Does he care about the immigrant, the gay, the lesbian, the transgender, the prisoner, the homeless, or any marginalized person as much as he cares about you? And if we believe that's true, then how do we show that? Not just with our words, but our actions. That's something that we as Christians need to think about and care about. I also thought about this question, who is Jesus to you, as I finished reading a book by Phil Vischer. Phil Vischer was the creator of the animated kids series VeggieTales, and his book talks about the spectacular rise and fall of his company called Big Idea. At the height of this company, it was bringing in millions of dollars each year with hundreds of employees, and he built it from nothing with a dream to share the gospel with kids through the medium of videos. He worked like crazy, sacrificing his health, his family, relationships, and ultimately, due to failed leadership from marketing and finance people, the business failed and he lost everything. And the story of the rise and fall of this company is fascinating, but where the story catches me is at the end, when he's talking about what he learned from it. He said he had worked so hard pushing forward, creating this vision and working toward that vision no matter what, believing in his dream that of all that God could do through VeggieTales. But when it all crashed, he said, I had to relearn that God didn't love me because of what I could do for God, but that God loved me even when I had done nothing at all. He has a new business now. It's called Jellyfish. And he said he chose this name because for a jellyfish to plan to do anything is lunacy. Because a jellyfish absorbs what is around them. They go with the drift of where the current is moving them. And he said that he had to come to understand that as well about him, that his future was dependent on where God was moving him, not where his own goals and ambitions were moving him. That he needed God as his guide, as his beloved companion on the journey of life. That's who Jesus was to him, his shelter in the storm, his strong foundation. Who is Jesus to you? Jesus didn't tell Peter that he was the rock upon whom the church would be built because he was perfect, but because he confessed the name of Jesus, that Jesus was his Messiah, that he was the Son of God. And it is on that confession that the church is built. And we can confess that loudly and brashly and quickly like Peter, or we can confess it quietly in our hearts. And you don't have to say it without questions or doubts, because we're human beings and questions and doubts come with the territory of being human. It always reminds me of that father in the story from the Gospel of Mark with the boy who was healed of the unclean spirit, and the father cried out, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. We confess that Jesus is Lord, and we say, Lord, we believe, help our unbelief. I know it to be true in my blood and my bones that Jesus is the way and the truth and the life. And it's the sum of my days and years to find ways to express that, to share it in a world that seems less and less wanting to hear it, and to share it in a way that honors the experience of others and the names that others call God and know God. But I trust that there is grace and that God is with us as we do that there is peace that passes all understanding, as we hold both the questions and as we confess our faith in Jesus. So friends, who do you say Jesus is?
Make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Just as you made the earth, sky, and sea, and everything teeming in them. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Renew your breath of life in us. Restore our joy, restore our joy. Oh, make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. How can a person start over and change and be born again to new life? Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in me today and every day. Feel the heartbeat of the world and soften us to listen. Make a new heart, make a new heart in us today and every day. Make a new heart, make a new heart in us today and every day. Make a